as a nomad, your biggest dilemma will always be, should you get a home base? Living as a nomad, living free of having a permanent residence, is extreme freedom. It's very exhilarating. When I first sold my house, I was a little scared to technically become homeless, but I was also so relieved to have no responsibilities to any location or any house. And that was 4 years ago. And throughout my journey, I have flirted with the idea of getting a home base because, like I say, I think it's part of the human psychological need to have some stability. For the average person, I think they need some level of stability with regards to home base. I think there's some exceptional cases, but I think even the exceptional cases, there is always a yearning to settle into a routine after a period of adventure and exploration. Mary Todd's great to see you. And so I've had my exploration. I have found what most people find when they hit the road. Fun experiences on the road, but there is only a few locations that really inspire you, speak to you, and you want to spend most of your time. And then you get to a point, if you want to spend most of your time in certain areas, at a certain point, you might as well just buy a home base. But buying property has two major equations, two major parts. Number one is financial, because buying a house, on average, is the biggest financial decision most people will ever make. The other part is psychological and emotional. Commitment, long-term commitment, has a psychological and emotional upheaval in your spirit. And so I'm at a point now that this past year with COVID really put my home base search on the back burner because, one, in the beginning of COVID, before COVID hit, I was like really looking for home bases. And then COVID hit and everything was locked down. And then, things started to loosen up. But all of a sudden, the housing market just shot up. So now it's this dynamic where to find affordable housing and to be ready to commit are the two things. So I have found a home base for $50,000. It's an RV lot. I would put a new RV on it, and I think I can do it for a total price of $50,000. Then I would just have the recurring fees of property taxes, utility bills, etc. And if I buy the home base, I'll give you a rundown on what those costs are. They're under $500 a month. So, it wouldn't be an extreme. Look, a home base for a purchase price of $50,000 with a monthly recurring fee of under $500 for property taxes, utilities, everything included, is a very cheap, affordable option. Okay. And so financially, to me, it's a no-brainer financially. Psychologically and emotionally is another thing I still struggle with, because I still enjoy the complete freedom of not being attached to anything. It's always a dual. It's a give and a take. The nomad life is sometimes it's so frustrating because you don't have this sanctuary, but sometimes it is so liberating that you are not tied down by just about anything. It's psychological because, look, everyone in society still has to follow rules. There is no one living this life where you just do whatever you want. So, take everything I'm saying with perspective, right? And I'm going to get to all the members' comments. Loved everyone out there. But, like everything, I always tell you, nothing is cheap for a reason. Okay. So, one is the reason it's only $50,000 is because it's about an hour away from the beach. I'd be in the countryside. And so, to get beachside, I'd be close to $200,000. So, that's one part of this dynamic. I love the home base I found. I love the size of the RV lot. I've already scoped out the travel trailers I would put on there. I'll do a separate video on that. The community is nice, well-maintained. I'd feel safe there. The area it's not the beach. I would probably commute to the beach just about every day. An hour commute, which is not a big deal at this point in my life. I enjoy to drive. But that's something that I have to just think about. I've drove the route a couple times. I like to drive. It's a peaceful drive. Because, again, I'm in the countryside. There's no traffic until I get to wherever I need to get to. So, I say to myself, is a home base for $50,000 worth it? Well, from the financial aspect, I would say it's worth it because there's no financial stress. I would be financially independent even if I lost my main job with DoorDash and YouTube, and then eventually finding another job I could take. I could eventually get something else. I mean, I'd be okay working at Planet Fitness for a recurring fee of, my entire housing cost under $500. Okay. So I like that because at the age of 41, I have no problem working. I've worked my whole life. But now that I'm past midway of my life, I'm 23 years into my career. I want to be able to choose more on what I do with my future. If I have to change jobs or if job situation changed, I want more, I want more control. And if I want more control, I have to manage and monitor, my cost for housing. Because if you buy too much, you're always going to be on the hook. Okay. So it's also true, though, if I buy a property, everything included, the RV lot and the RV for $50,000, that will not appreciate at the same value that a home base by the beach for a couple $100,000 will. Meaning that in 10 years, this home base for $50,000 may only be worth $65,000. Okay, and I've paid property taxes, utilities, etc. Whereas if I buy a property at the beach, in 10 years, that may be worth $300,000, $350,000. Location matters because the appreciation is based on location. So that's something that I must consider. And the final thing that I've struggled with the most, and you guys see me, those who watch my channel, when I go back and forth about considering a home base, because the only other time I came close this year was that condo for $100,000, which I was damn close. And I still go back and forth in my mind on that because I think that was a pretty good deal. And I like the community. I like the area. But the biggest thing that scared me out of that deal was the shared walls. And there was signs that there was a leak coming from upstairs. And that brought me flashbacks to when I owned my condo. That was the thing that broke that deal. And that's kind of what pushed me now away from condos. And I'm only looking, if I get a home base, at an RV lot with an RV on it. I'm not connected to anyone, even though the neighbors are somewhat close. Now, the home base in the countryside for $50,000, the RV lot's very big. The neighbors are not as close. A RV lot by the beach, very close neighbors. Okay? So this is the difference. Okay? Or I would get a mobile home. And on these RV lots, sometimes there's mobile homes or you can put your own. But that's my future if I go home base. I'm not going to get a single family house. I mean, it's just too much work. It's not who I am. It could be a great investment. They appreciate more. I recognize that. But I am not the type of person to take care of a house. And if I'm going to start to outsource to lawn care companies and contractors, I might as well just pay an HOA to outsource it. It's like, at a certain point, So single family house is out. I think I've kind of eliminated condos. So I am stuck with a mobile home lot or RV lot. And I like the RV lot because I enjoy, I've been in RVs and I like the feel of living in an RV. And I also like the idea that in 10 years, I just tow that thing off, tow a new one on. Mobile home, a little bit more entanglement. But now, I can get over financially 50,000, guys. I can accept that. I'm at peace with that. I've worked hard to position myself, and $50,000 for any house in America, okay, is a good deal. But again, I'm countryside. I'm not beachside, so it's priced accordingly to that. Psychologically, am I ready to buy a home base? This is the most underrated aspect of buying property. We all know the financial side. We all know that buying property is one of the biggest decisions anyone makes, other than having a kid. Having a child is your number one biggest financial commitment. Having a house, number two. And if you have a child, you're going to need a house, and then there goes the algorithm of your life. Everything, guys, when you have a child, everything changes. And everyone I know's life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's your goal. But I don't want kids. So technically, here's where I go in my mind. This is the back and forth. If I don't want kids and I don't want a family, I technically never need to own a property. And I would be fine as a nomad or just renting an apartment or just renting campgrounds. It's just a lifestyle choice. But I want to be honest with you. Renting, having a landlord is not ideal. I don't like that landlord relationship. Campgrounds, I love that you don't have a landlord, you don't have a lot of entanglements, but campgrounds, the ones that are cheap for a reason. There's usually close quarters. The people are not, guys, these people are people who can't pass a background check or people who are poor. And not to say that that's bad, but guys, it's like the campgrounds now, they cost like $1,000 a month. So for a nice campground, and that's the lease. So it's like now you're back to renting. So I said, if I'm going to do that, I'm not going to get an RV. The 1,000 Trails Camping Pass is still a great deal, but you're moving every few weeks. And that's fun initially if you're in the beginning of the nomadic life when you're exploring. Again, I've been on the road full time for 4 years, going on 5. And I would say the average span of someone living full-time on the road is about 1 to 5 years, average. There's people that go beyond that, people that go less. So I am excited about 50K all in for hedging my bets and adding some stability in my life. And there's something that I do like about that at this point. There's something that I don't think I can ever get over psychologically, where I know I'll never be as free as I am now. Now, I know a little bit of that is just psychological, because technically I'm not free. I'm moving around a lot to stay compliant, to stay under the radar. And driving is the most dangerous thing any nomad does. I know statistically, spending all this time on the road is not ideal. And that's the little bit the negative with the 50K. If I'm driving every day to the beach, it's better than what I'm doing now. And I still get to keep a regular car because I'm not going to tow no damn RV. I'm putting it on there. I'm never going to leave it until it's time to get rid of it. But if I buy a home base by the beach, I'm not driving as much. But I'm 41. I don't want to live like I'm 81. Okay, there's got to be some balance. So I wanted to share those thoughts tonight. Now we're going to go into all members' comments. Let me know your thoughts below. But I figured it's valuable for someone who is living the nomadic life through experience, share with you what goes on psychologically, financially, in your life when you live this life. And there's always going to be the dilemma for a nomad should you get a home base. Oh, super chat. Jay, $5 super chat. Love the avatar. What's up, Sam? Creatine monohydrate for the win. I don't know what that means. It mitigates the effects of sleep deprivation. Helps you function on less hours. Look it up. No more naps. Well, I don't believe in that, but I will look it up because I'm not informed on that. I believe if you don't take naps and you wake up by 6 a.m. and you stay productive all day and you work out, and at 3 o'clock you don't take a 15-minute power nap, guys, it's 11 o'clock at night almost. I'm tired, okay? And unless you have something biologically wrong with you, if you wake up by 5, 6 a.m. and you're productive and you exercise and you don't take a nap, the average person should not need any supplement. You shouldn't need a sound machine. You shouldn't need essential oils. You shouldn't need, okay, this hypnotist to put you to sleep. Guys, I'm exhausted. Okay. And I think about that. Thank you, though, again, Jay. I will look that up. Thank you with gratitude in my heart for the super chat. Thank you to all my members. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. So, I think about that with the home base. That's really the only thing I'm using the home base for, is at night to go to sleep, which, again, is going to be, let's just say 8 hours. So 8 hours out of the day, that's what I pay for. Or if I get hurt, or if there's a society issue, it could be a benefit, could not. So, but again, anything you pay a cheaper amount for, it's going to appreciate less. So you got to remember that. All right, let's go all live comments now. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I appreciate you. Yep, let me just pull this up here. And if I do miss a comment, please write it again. Don't take offense. Mary Taz, great to see you. Inspired James, great to see you, brother. How are you, man? Great to see you. Infinity, that's my guy. Infinity wants to hit the road. I think, again, you should do it because this is your dream. Sell your house if that's what you've planned. Live in a travel trailer, explore the country. Because, guys, I don't want to begrudge people from experiencing life. And I still think, especially if you're single and no kids, living on the road's a great life. For me, I've also learned that I have a personality that does better with less to take care of. And that's why I know I never want a house. I don't even know if I want more than a car or van. I don't want the van yet because I still want a regular car to do my driving videos, to have DoorDash as an option. Because believe me, the van is on my mind because I like that if I get the van, I only have one thing, and that's it. But I don't like the fact that I don't have a regular car to drive. And so that's the thing that keeps me away from that. The home base for $50K is a raw piece of concrete with some palm trees, full utility hookups. I'll put a brand new travel trailer. I'll never tow it. And that'd be it. Mary Taz, just got through walking the dog. Excellent job. Going for a walk multiple times a day is the best thing you can do. Don't let your body sit for more than an hour straight. Good job, Mary Taz. And your dog will be happier too, because dogs feel anxiety just like humans. And when you have anxiety, that's your body telling you need to let your blood flow. You need to go move. You need action. Action relieves anxiety, okay? And healthy action. Go for a walk. Good job. Inspired James. Hey, Mary Taz. Ace at all. Mary Taz. Hey, Inspired James. ESP. What's up, ESP? Hey, Sam and gang. ESP, good to see you. How's everything? Hope you're doing well. Inspired James. We'll have to catch the replay. Inspired James, I appreciate you coming in here. You keep pushing forward, living your best life, and we appreciate you. Inspired James. Hey, ESP. Timothy, what's up, brother? Good to see you, Timothy. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I got love for you, brother. ESP. Hey, James. ESP. One good thing about the fifth wheel as opposed, this is a good comment here. I'm going to talk about this. ESP says one good thing about the fifth wheel as opposed to the condo is that you don't need to buy furniture. Excellent comment. There's a couple things I want to talk about. First is to be fair. A condo to appreciate in value more on average than an RV lot with a trailer on it. So financially, I want to share that with you so you guys are always aware of that. Okay, so again, your risk reward is low when you're only spending 50K, but you got to be aware. Two is, I totally agree with ESP. Whether you get a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, these trailers have all the furnishing included, and sometimes the TV, everything. But the beds are usually uncomfortable, and a lot of the sofas are uncomfortable. I've sat in a lot, especially the past couple of weeks. I found a couple that have comfortable seating and good decor, but I have eliminated the fifth wheel as of now. And so now I'm focused on about a 25, 26 foot travel trailer because the fifth wheel has too many steps. It's too elevated off the ground. And the only thing I liked about the fifth wheel is that it's a ceiling fan, but I've eliminated the fifth wheel. It'll probably be around 26 foot or so travel trailer with plenty of room. Charles, 199 Super Chat. Thank you, brother. Is the home base at a place near Okeechobee? Somewhat by there. I mean, it's countryside, so it's, you know, like I say, it's in the country. I have mixed emotions about living countryside. It's the culture is different. I'm not saying it's worse. It's different. The energy is different. I don't feel like, I still feel to go to the areas that I would be inspired most, I have to drive, so that's a negative. The positive is it's a very quiet, peaceful area. So there's that give and that take. Thank you, Charles. Sabrina, great to see you. I appreciate you, Sabrina. I got to read Sabrina's real quick because she never leaves a comment. She's been a long time member. Sabrina. Hey, Sam, it's been a minute. I know. I see you. I've been staying with my mom. God bless you. In the hospital for the past month. I'm sorry to hear that. She slipped and fell at a doctor's appointment. Their fault, and broke her leg. Oh, Sabrina, love to you. D, one of our members, broke her leg recently. When you're older, falling is so dangerous because your bones are brittle and they break easy and they don't heal easy. The older you get, you lose your balance, number one. Number two, even if you have your balance and you fall, your bones are frailer. And three is your body heals slower. So it's a real whammy when you fall at an elderly age. And that's one of the reasons, too, I don't like the fifth wheel. Too many steps, especially if my mom ever lived with me. And I want everything pretty much levels, low to the ground, no steps. And empathy. Even in the Bible, it's a non-religious thing. Even in the Bible, they said, like, be careful before you get too old and you fear falling. Falling is a real legit fear for the seniors. So, Sabrina, I love you. Shout out to Louisiana. That's where Sabrina's from. I pray for your mom, and I appreciate you, Sabrina. You've been very kind to me. All right, back to live comments. Pray for us, Sabrina's mom, guys. Mary Taz. Hold on, let me just wipe down myself. Hey, I did my laundry today, too. That feels good. Yeah, the community's got some stuff to offer. Mary Taz says, I would do RV before mobile home. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way, too, Mary Taz. You can move with an RV. Yeah, well, I don't think I'm ever going to move that RV. Never. The only thing that I would move is if down the road I got rid of the trailer and I just had a Class B. But for at least 10 years, my projected plan would be to get a brand new trailer, anchor it to the concrete pad, and never tow it. And just have a regular car. I'd ride this Jeep until I can't ride it anymore. And then I would just get another little small car, a Kia Soul, something like that, $20,000 or under. And I would just have that as something to drive efficiently and for my videos and for my enjoyment and for the DoorDash option if I ever needed it. So good comment, Mary Toss. Sabrina, again, great to see you. I've been thinking about you so often, Sabrina, because you've been so gracious. You've been here a long time and you don't ask for anything. Thank you. Thank you again, Jay, for that super chat. I will look that up because I'm not sure what that is. I remember like in the weightlifting days, people used to talk about creatine and stuff. It was like, I don't know, some type of weightlifting supplement. But I don't know creatine monohydrate. I don't know enough about it to speak on it. But I love you, brother. Timothy, again, thanks for everything. He goes, congratulations on finding your new home base. Good luck. Yeah, it's interesting because you guys who watch me, you kind of know my personality. I'll flirt with a home base like I flirt with girls. But me committing is a very tough thing. So I don't know if I'll ever muster up the strength to commit. I get excited when I find home bases that fit some of my criteria. I haven't found any home base that fits all of my criteria. I think that, like probably all of you know, there is no perfect property. It doesn't matter what type of property you're looking for. Single family, condo, nothing's perfect. So one is, whenever you buy property, you have to accept some imperfections. So whether, because if it's cheap, there's a reason. If it's expensive, it's in a nice area, but it's expensive. So I have to go back to ask myself, Sam, what are your goals? Well, my goals were to relocate in Florida, to cut my living expenses in half so that I ensure financial freedom pretty much the rest of my life, obviously barring some type of catastrophe, which none of us can plan for. And, and to live somewhat by the beach. So, and it's not an hour commute, maybe 40 minutes. Is that too far away from the beach? It's debatable, but you're not going to find anything on the beach for that. So, I don't know. But if I find something on the beach for 150, 200, am I going to commit to that? Because there's also a home base I'm looking at right by the beach for 200. So I say to myself, Sam, spend the 200. And you're right, everything's there. But I don't know if that's what I want either. And this is my problem. This is why, again, you guys see me flirt with these home bases, but ultimately I back out. Because I just don't have all the criteria met, or psychologically I don't get over that hurdle. And, I know that I'm closer now than I've ever been, but, I could be saying that for another 5 years. I get excited when I find these properties that are of interest. I get anxiety when I get serious about them and I'm starting to put pen to paper. And I get relief when I'm not tied down, but I also get wore out by the road. Again, one of my major points for making this video is, as a nomad, this is a dilemma that never ends, okay? And you accept it. There's some times where it's pressing on your spirit more than others. Certainly everything is an illusion. Nothing is going to make you 100% happy, and it's never going to change. Everything has a pro and a con. So I can't give you a sales pitch either way, but I can share with you in detail, articulate, communicate, which is my gift, and I try to refine it, the experience, so that you can get some insight, some value, some encouragement, some excitement, and maybe some frustration. This is all part of that experience. Charles, thank you again. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, we're in the general area. Christina, congrats, Sam. Well, don't congratulate me yet. I could abort the baby, so to speak. I know that's a little rough language, but it's just something I found, and I'm trying to think, because you guys know, I'm getting ready in a few weeks probably to head up north to see my mom, and so I'm thinking like, I found this property. Do I want to close on this property and then head up north? I don't know. Look, if I wait 2 months, 3 months, is that property still there? When you go countryside, properties are not moving as fast as beachside. If you get a good deal on the beach, guys, they're still moving quick. I think that will slow down over time. But, countryside, they're not moving as quick. So that's why, too, it's like, that obviously that has to concern you when it's time for you to sell. Because, I'm going to have a property in the middle of the country, right? So everybody wants a property by the beach. How many people want a property by the country? Some people, not a lot. Why? Because remember, 90% of people who buy property are raising a family. And most people don't want to raise a family in the middle of nowhere or the middle of the country. And if they do, they don't want an RV lot. They want a house. So I've limited my demographic for reselling. I'd be pretty much selling to someone who wants like a vacation home or a retiree nest. And so I've eliminated the vast majority of population. That's why this property is so cheap. Everything's cheap for a reason. So I want to teach you or share with you what I've learned, and that's maybe helpful to you. Jack, $1.99 super chat. You going to get that? Yeah, good question. Yeah, the 212 QB Jayco. I had three choices that I selected that would fit good for my lifestyle. One was the Jayco 212 QB. That is still a contender. The other is a Jayco. Dang, let me see if I can find it. They're both, the top two contenders are both Jayco. They're model year 2021. Yep. So, yeah, one was the 212 QB. The other one had a slide out. The other one, other Jayco I was looking at is a 284 BHS. It's got pop outs. So those are the two that are still in contention. I've eliminated the fifth wheel. I went to look at it today, and the fifth wheel doesn't work for me. Why? I don't like all the steps, not just coming in, but then there's steps to go up to the master bedroom. I don't like the spaces is unnecessarily too big. Even if my mom came, I don't like the amount of space and the bigness of the trailer. I like separation with one door with the second Jayco, the 28-4BH. The Jayco 212 QB would be ideal for me, and there still is enough room if my mom came to visit. So those are the three options, but I've eliminated the fifth wheel. So right now I'd be only looking at those two. And those price ranges, $25,000 to $35,000. Something like that. All right, back to the live comments. Good question. Thank you again, Christina. God bless your mom, Sabrina. I agree. Christina, good plan, Sam. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Christina. It has some good things, has some bad things, and that's what I want to share with you tonight. I want to document this to share with you. This is part of the journey. Now, again, guys, you can do nothing. I always default to don't buy, do nothing. What are my options? Guys, I can buy an RV. I do not want to tow a travel trailer, so I'm not going to buy a travel trailer, even though I do like the idea of towing a small little cute travel trailer. But I don't think that's a bad idea, because you keep an efficient car. But I know my personality. Now, I believe there's some people who they have a personality almost like a truck driver. They actually enjoy towing. I don't. Also, I don't enjoy staying at some of these RV parks. I don't. So those two things eliminate the towing the travel trailer from campground to campground. The Class B van, I would like it more if I was close to 60. But being that I'm 41, I don't want to drive a van every day, lose so much efficiency, lose the option of DoorDash. And, every time I'm driving that thing, I'm thinking about a mile. Every mile I put on that $80,000 van. So it's not practical. It's doable, and it'd be a great tax deduction on my YouTube channel, but it's not. I just feel like it's not really practical. The RV lot with the RV on it at $50K is practical. It makes sense. The biggest negative is it's not 100% where I want to be. But if I go 100% where I want to be, my budget gets boosted another $150K. I'm at $200,000. So let me know right now in the comments section, if you're watching this live, would you buy a home base an hour away from the beach for $50K? Or would you wait or buy a home base on the beach for $200K? Also, if you're watching the replay, leave that. Also, click that thumbs up, guys. And yeah, that's where I'm at tonight. Those are my thoughts. That's what I'm actually going through in life. And if I decide to do nothing, I know through my 4 years of on the road, I'll be going through this till the day I die. Again, I still enjoy my life. Your health is your main thing. As long as I have my health and I'm kind of doing what I want to do, the home base is either cherry on the top or a chain. It's like, that's what a home base is. It's either the cherry on the top or it's the chain to your leg. It could be either one. And so I try to be very fair. 1 hour to save my funds. I can understand that. Yeah, it's like that's the two different cultures and mindset too. Like if I buy the $50,000 home base an hour away from the beach, the closest store is the Dollar General. So the mindset in that community, in that area is frugal living, simple living. Now, I like the simple living, and I'm certainly not looking to waste money, but, there's a mindset. Now, if I buy the 200K by the beach, there's a little bit of an arrogance, but there's high-end supermarkets, there's gyms, there's amenities, so there's also a higher energy. Like, you know what I mean? People in that zone, there's a higher energy. People living an hour away from the beach, there's a lower energy. There's a give and a take to that. But there is that difference, it's that you have to say it. Christina says, you love being near the water. That's true. I do. So, yeah, obviously I love my financial freedom, to Sabrina's point. And I want to ensure that because I have learned that, guys, a part of living a passionate life is living below your means. Not figuring out how you can live in poverty and not work, but working as much as you can based on your potential and abilities and finding creative things that you can do, passions of yours, that can possibly create income. And then figuring out how to make your life work. Mary Ta says, I'm about 40 minutes from the beach. Now, it's not bad. I personally would go for the 50K. Well, that's an interesting comment, Mary Taz, because you're actually living it. Huh. Okay. So right now you're pretty much what I would be. You're 40 minutes away from the beach. And if you had a choice, either one, you would still pick the 50K. That's interesting. Okay. So Sabrina says 50K. Christina says 200K. Mary Taz says 50. Okay. Anybody else want to put a vote in? This is just for fun. Ultimately, look, I've learned in life, I'm an adult. I'll do what I want. But I source people's perspective, and that's what you should do. You should do whatever you want, source people's perspective. Look, if I buy the 50K home base, and if I really didn't like it, would I get 50K for it? Well, it'd be tough to sell. I would like to think worst case scenario, I get 30K for it, I take a 20K hit. I want to think worst case. Cal, $1.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Just joined. Surprised you're still live. You found a base? Yeah, thank you. I'm a little late tonight. I had to run around. I had to look at that fifth wheel tonight. Yeah, I found a home base. The good news is it's only $50,000. That will be with an RV lot and the RV. And I went to look at a fifth wheel to see, because I found a cheap, brand new fifth wheel, but I don't like the fifth wheel. I'm going travel trailer if I get this. But you know me, Cal, you've been watching. I've crossed it all. It matches the financial criteria, which is below my means. It's an hour away from the beach, which is not ideal. So that's kind of like, eh. And the biggest hurdle now is psychologically, emotionally. Do I find enough value in having a place I own that it's worth the psychological loss of freedom? Again, I acknowledge no one is truly free. No one truly owns, okay? Because, guys, I have to comply with rules. I'm always moving. We all pay a price for different things. But, there's also something to be said for how you feel, okay? Because, guys, you got to feel good about your life. So, I don't know if I've crossed that. I'm talking it out tonight. Timothy says, I would buy the 50K home base for 1 hour away because I feel it's a bargain. Yeah, I mean, so that I think we're at 3-1, 50K. Look, I agree. I mean, that's what attracts me too. Obviously, I feel not just for a bargain. I like the lot. I'm not in love with the overall area because I'm not a country guy. I don't want to be in the middle of the city. So, that's something I got to think about, but I think a lot of people buy based on price. And I got to be careful not to just do that because that's how a lot of people buy stuff like in a Dollar Tree or at Walmart. They buy just because it's on sale. And again, usually if it's on sale, it's because doesn't have much value. But one thing I agree with Timothy and everyone voting that way is that I ensure my financial freedom while providing some stability in my life. And so that's a win-win. But here's the other way to look at that. $50,000 one-time fee plus every month for recurring fees of property taxes, utilities, etc. I'm paying about less than $500. Let's just say $400. You know how many years I would have to rent for me to make up that $50,000 plus the recurring fees? You got to own property for at least 7 years for it to kind of at least pay for itself. So, that's something I think about too. Mary Toss. Plus the beach, at least here, gets really crowded. Well, that's a good point. Especially in the winter in Florida, the beach gets very crowded. And that's a fair point. But even though that's the one thing I will say, I love Florida over New Jersey. Because Florida, one is it's a way bigger state. Two is it's a peninsula, meaning it has water, ocean on every side of the state. And there's so much coastland that the Florida coast does not get as crowded as the Jersey shore. So sure, if you go to South Beach, it gets crowded. But guys, you only go to South Beach if you're young or you're partying. There's tons of other beaches in Florida, and they're wide open, a lot of them. Mary Taz, here's a great question. Oh, Mary Taz, you understand life. Mary Taz says, yeah, big question. How far is Starbucks? 40 minutes. 40 minutes to Starbucks. So I would either have to make coffee in my own house, which you guys kind of know I'm not into. Every day's a drive to do what I want. 40 minutes. I could go to Dunkin' Donuts is there. I don't drink Dunkin' Donuts. So, yep. It's going to be a 40-minute drive for the Starbucks, for the gyms, for the stores I like. 40 minutes. Something to think about, right? And Mary Taz also said, I missed this, $50K would be easier financially, which gives us peace of mind. It's true. Christina says, your high energy and quality of life is important to you. That's a good point, Christina. I mean, that's something that I'm debating. And I know my energy is always going to be, you can't say always, but as long as I have my relative health and I'm still middle-aged, do I want to live like I'm already retired and not doing anything? I don't know, I struggle with that, But guys, I just use it as a place to sleep, so I struggle with paying for $200K, because even if I pay for $200K at the beach, guys, I'm not going to be at that joint that much. I'm still going to be like walking outside, but I'm not going to be driving as much. I don't know, and it'll appreciate more. Charles, $1.99 super chat. I'd do the $200K beach for the win. All right, the $200K's picking up steam. Cal, $1.99 super chat. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, Starbucks gonna keep Sam on the road. The Starbucks, the gym, the higher end supermarkets, and the Latina MILFs, guys. They're all 40. The good looking MILFs are 40 minutes away because this is countryside. So. Is 40 minutes worth an extra $150K? Well, guys, I think now we're at about 5-4. 5 people say $50K. 4 people say $200K. Guys, get your vote in. Get your vote in now. Let me know in the comment section. Let's take a hydration break. Thank you for all the gracious tips. Shout out to you guys and girls. I'm doing the best I can to show up every night. Give you some information, entertainment, communicate what I'm going through so you can get the experience, okay? And I'm very grateful. I appreciate you. I have gratitude. Thank you. The other thing I struggle with is, even if I get to home base, do I still do the live feed in the gas station? Because doing a live feed, even though I would do it from time to time at the home base, I wouldn't do it every day from the home base. Because the energy's not the same. And I still couldn't scream. Like, I'm talking very loud now. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that in my community. And it'd be like I was back in a hotel for 30 days. It's a different energy. I don't know. No matter which home base I get. Back to live comments. Big Plan Dan! What's up, brother? Hey, Big Plan Dan. You should be at this guy's smart. He goes, all right, Dan, we're at a tie. He goes, you should be at the beach. It is such a big part of your life. Well, Big Plan Dan, when you talk, I'll listen, man, because I know that you've been through a lot of life. This guy, I appreciate you, Big Plan Dan. God bless you, brother. I hope that your building is going well, man. I love you. Thank you for I always respect your insights on the comments, and I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you. All right, back to the live comments in order. Forgive me. Christina said 200K, Kana. ESP says, how long, this is a good question, how long has the 50K been on the market? Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I want to say like 60 days, something like that, ESP, about 2 months. So, again, the property on the countryside does not go as quick as property on the beach side. And that's why it's priced so cheap. So, that's something I have to consider. Good question, ESP. Thank you again, Charles. Mary Ta says, 40 minutes to Starbucks might be a deal breaker. Yeah, it's a tough thing, man. Like, I feel like Timothy, like, damn, 50K, that's fucking like, and I'm not saying 50K is nothing because, guys, I respect money. As I get older and I've been through life, ups and downs, I've never been destitute. But I spent time with destitute, and most of them have drug or mental problems. It's true. Most people, if you're willing to work, you may not always get ahead because you may create more bills in your life than necessary. But if you're willing to work and do stuff, you'll always at least get by. You'll never be destitute. Okay. So, and that's why all the scriptures, and I always share them with you, all the scriptures say, if you're willing to work, you'll prosper in some way. And if you're lazy, you're going to suffer in some way. Now, I empathize that in a modern era, we've diagnosed that some people are not necessarily lazy. They have mental issues. Like their brain is not functioning at an energy level where they're able to do stuff. But look, get help. I'm not a social worker. But also, try to push yourself not to take a nap and do something. There's only so much I can do, guys. I'm not God. But I can only share with you what I've been through. Thank you again, Dan. It was great to see you tonight, brother. I appreciate your comments so much, man. Timothy says, initially, Timothy said the 50K law he picked. Now, let's see what he says now. He says 200, he put all caps too. He goes, 200K closer to the MILFs might make me reconsider. God bless you, Timothy. That's true. Yeah, I mean, look. It's, that's why it's priced accordingly, right? Because 50K countryside, guys, you're going to see a destitute, you ain't going to see the hot MILFs, guys. This is what I've learned in life. All the good-looking women go where there's money, okay? It's true, okay? And I'm not saying there's no good-looking women in the countryside, but, guys, it's mostly destitute women. Yeah, and they're not on point. Yeah, guys, it's true. I got to tell you like it is. So, I got to think about that. But don't forget, too, I'm single. I'm not trying to have anyone live with me. I've been through that. Cal, 199 Super Chat. Seems like you need a happy medium. Good. Thank you, Cal. Well, the problem with a medium-sized anything is it's lukewarm. To me, I'm not saying this is right, but in most, I'd rather be all the way hot or all the way cold. I'd rather be cheap so that I never worry about a penny. I'm still buying coconut shrimp. I'm still driving. I'm not counting any pennies. I'm doing whatever. I'm taking risk a little bit financially with some investments. Or I'm going to live in a high-end area and know that I'm secure around other people who have a mentality of success, okay, a certain level. Okay, so, but a middle ground, 20 minutes, look, if I could find a 50K lot, yeah, 20 minutes from Starbucks, that's a go. But so 20 minutes away from Starbucks, I'm looking at about 125,000. If the lot was right, I would do that. But there's not too many middle. There's either hot or cold. But that's a good point. Back to live comments in order. Guys, if you haven't already, click that thumbs up. Share this video with everyone that you know. Leave a comment below. I want to thank you, ESP. ESP says 50K is only a bargain if it suits your lifestyle. That's a good comment. And needs. If you're going to settle down, make sure you choose the right one. Laughing. Yeah, no, that's a good comment, though, ESP. You're a very smart woman. I always tell you that. And I want to see you do what you need to do for you, because I know you got a big decision coming up too, but I love you no matter what you decide. Well, let me think about that. Oh, hold on a second. $5 super chat. Maria. Hey, Maria. Hey, Sam. Think of your time, almost an hour and a half each day, and being close to what you love, and Starbucks. No, I mean, thank you, number one, Maria. And I mean, it's something that I have to think about that, to your point. Now, I want to share that I actually enjoy to drive. At this point in my life, 41. I enjoy an hour drive each way. I mean, I've got no problem with that. But I don't know if I always want to have to do that, especially as I get older. Now, again, I'm 41. Do I want to live like I'm 71? No, but I don't want to buy property as if I'm going to always be 41. So it's an interesting dynamic, and that's why I am asking for some feedback. So, Maria, thank you, and I got to think about this. Cal, 199 super chat. 40 minutes is nothing. Take that 50K, drive to the water. Guys, this is why buying property is so stressful, because for both options. And then there's a case to be made for do nothing. Yeah, flirt with the girl and never marry her. Milk the cow and never let her in the house. So, and I'm not saying that like disrespectfully. I'm saying that there's a philosophy, especially within a nomad's mind, that I'll flirt with the idea of settling down, but one of my options is to never settle down. And then in the mind, you say, well, should I go for the cheap option, which I still feel like I have the nomad freedom, okay? Because at 50K, I still feel like I'm financially free like a nomad. At 200K, I'm not financially strapped, but I have to think about it more. I mean, it's true. I'm calculating it more. I'm not at that point where 200K is like 50K. So, these are good comments. Thank you for all the tips. I appreciate that. Good comments. Back to the live comments. Yeah, so to ESP's point, like, it fits my needs. I need a safe, legal place to park with low maintenance. I really want an RV lot. I always have. And I want the RV lot to be big enough where my neighbors are on top of me. It fits that need. Does it fit my lifestyle? It fits in my lifestyle. It would fit more my lifestyle if it was at least 20 minutes closer to the beach. But there is nothing like that right now. So, good question. Christina, I agree with Dan. Dan's a smart guy. Thank you, Christina and Dan. Mary. So now, I don't know the exact tally, but I want to say right now we're at a dead tie. I think half the people say go with the 50K home base an hour away from the beach. The other half say go for 200K on the beach. Okay. Now, does anyone say don't do nothing and stay in your car? I guarantee you there's some people out there say that. And I even think that too. Because I get all stressed out when I start to get close to a home base. Back to these live comments. Mary Todd says, with your personality, it may be hard to come back to the countryside. Go where your heart is. That's an interesting comment. Anything midway? Nah, that'd be great if something was midway to a certain degree. Good comments. Cal, thank you again. Maria, gracious of you. Respect and love. Mary Toss is switching. I switched too. As long as you won't be worrying about financial money, I'd go by the beach. Yeah, I would say 200K is at my means. It's not, right now, 200K is below my means. Okay. If my main job stays, and with YouTube, 200K is below my means. But I'm trying to live my life now that if I lost my main job, I still get to live life on my terms, even if I get another main remote job. And that's where that 200K at the age of 41, it could go either way, depending on how I land back on my feet. If I was 61, guys, it'd be a no-brainer because I've already built up all my retirement. I'm at a certain point, right? So 41, I'm in the middle of my, working years. So that's something I go back and forth with, But look, I have kind of figured out it's Florida or bust. Now, I like the fact that if a hurricane comes, I don't have to worry about anything. I leave. I did that with Hurricane Dorian. I have a whole playlist on my channel when Hurricane Dorian came to Florida and they thought it was going to be a devastating hurricane. Guys, I jumped in my car. I headed up the coast. Within 24, 48 hours, I was all the way back in New Jersey. I didn't have to worry about my home base. I didn't have to worry about the community. I didn't worry about anything. And whether I get the 50K or the 200K lot, I add worry to my life. I have to be honest with myself and with you. Even if it's below my means, I add some worry to my life. Now, I relieve some stress as far as going to a safe, legal place to park at night. Now, driving an hour at night, is that more stressful? A little bit. That's a little negative, especially as I'd be older. So I would have to change my lifestyle where, I'm kind of in the house earlier and not in the gas station as night. Now that could be a benefit. I don't know. Cal, thank you again for all your gracious super chats tonight. Thank you, Cal. I know I read that already. Thank you. Mary Taz, if you're really not sure, don't do anything. Yeah, that's always the default. I know it frustrates some people, but I'm thankful that I've kept to that. Do I feel like I missed out on any home bases? I do. There was one that I could have got a year ago, right after they started to lift some restrictions. Real estate did not pop yet. I could have been on the beach for 100K. But you can't go backwards. So, that's true. That's probably one of the biggest ones I regret. That's true. Hey, Wandering Off. Hey, Aline, how are you? Great to see you. Thank you for your support, Aline. Wandering Off says, don't do nothing and stay in your car. Well, that's where I'm at now. That's a possibility, Aline. You know me well. It doesn't sound like countryside inspires you. The lot countryside totally inspires me. The lot is big. It's got palm trees. It's not that bad of a commute, but the area does not inspire me. That's the negative. K. Smith, hey, brother, what's up? If you have to think about it, now is not the time. That's an interesting comment. Thank you, K. Smith. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I've heard people say that, and it's something to be said for that. I'm a little bit of a commitment phobe, too. Now living so free for so many years, it'd be tough to get me back to commitment, but I think you guys know I'm at least closer if I am ever going to commit than I was 4 years ago, Cal, $1.99 super chat. Thank you again, Cal. 40-minute drive isn't worth, He goes, 40-minute drive isn't worth 150. Move closer in 10 years. Yeah, and that's something, that's an interesting comment, Cal. I got to think about that. So let me ask you this. Is 50K even worth it now then? Do I just stay on I'm 41. As long as I can maintain my health, and I know that's always a question, as long as I can maintain my health, I don't have a major issue. Technically, whether I stay in this car, got another car, or even like some type of small RV, I doubt I'd ever do that. I doubt I'd do the RV. Living in a car is the easiest as long as you got your health and your youth. Technically, guys, as long as I keep my health, I can live in my car for another 10 years. As long as, I still got places to park, that could always change. That's something I think about. Because, guys, at any moment, they can change things up, Oh, shit. K. Smith, $2 super chat. Yeah, well, I thought this actually interesting comment. He goes, wait till next summer. The good weather is too close. Yeah, I mean, this year has actually been a pretty cool summer for Florida standards. And I'm not basing this decision on the heat or the cold. Uh, but to your point, one of your points, in my mind, like I would like to see where the real estate market is at next summer. Now, I still think there'll be opportunities countryside even next summer because that real estate doesn't move like beachside. Now, beachside next summer, it's either going to be 50K more, the same price, or the same price. See, I highly doubt. I mean, worst case scenario, I see that beachside going down to 150. Best case, or best case for the owner, it'd go to 250 or 300 maybe. Average case, it stays around the same. It all depends on how inflation comes out and interest rates and economy. I don't know how that's going to shake out. I mean, I'd really like to see, but, I don't know. Christina, another opportunity for the beach property will come. No, well, that's a good point. A lot of these communities I look at, guys, there's hundreds of lots. Now, very few are for sale right now. We're at all-time low inventory. But eventually, guys, the baby boomers die or young people get married, don't come down here anymore. People sell. We're at a unique time where there's not a lot of sellers. But eventually, guys, people get a divorce. People change their goals. People have another kid. People sell. Okay. So, there will be another opportunity. It's one thing I've learned. Once I started looking at properties, there are other opportunities. The key is, what will be the price when that one comes on? Will it keep going up? Will we see hyperinflation? I don't know. All right, guys and girls, I appreciate all my members. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate everyone who's been watching for over an hour. I show up every day. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe. Click the thumbs up before you leave. I want to thank you, everyone who joined tonight. I'll keep you posted on this decision. Key Smith, if you have to ask us, not inspired enough yet, that's a fair comment. It's a fair comment, brother. It's true. Obviously, I use YouTube a little bit. Other than a side hustle, I use YouTube as a little bit of therapy. So sometimes it helps when I talk it out because I get to focus my mind and articulate what I'm feeling. But your point is noted. And also I want to share with those who are selling their house or those on the road or those looking to get off the road. This is something that you're going to go through. Humans want to explore, but humans also want to be settled. Humans want adventure, but they also want some stability and insurance. Yes, the truth is we all need to seek balance. However, the truth is balance is boring, extreme motivates. So that's just the honest truth. But I'll keep you posted. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Peace. Oh, Christina also said, love you, Sam. Thank you for letting us participate on your journey. Well, Christina, thank you for your love and support, praying for you and your daughter. I appreciate